Hello and welcome. You are now tuned into the Ebb and Flow podcast. I'm your host, Atlanta-based author, model, and artist, Ebonee Davis. Hello and welcome to another episode of the Ebb and Flow podcast. We are in such a truly interesting time when we can truly see the evolution that's taking place on the planet right before our very eyes. Revelation, the final book in the Bible, is unfolding right before our very eyes. All of the prophecies in the Bible are coming true, coming to fruition. And I'm seeing a lot of people return to Christianity, which I think is so beautiful because I think faith is beautiful. I think having relationship with God is beautiful. I think devotion to something is beautiful. Something bigger than yourself, something outside of yourself, greater than yourself is so beautiful. And I myself have experienced questions around where I stand with my faith because I don't necessarily identify as Christian, although I embody and appreciate many Christian principles. I even believe in Jesus. I pray to Jesus. I read from the Bible. I find so much value in scripture. I go to church. I listen to gospel music. I love Kirk Franklin, right? So all of the things that would be characteristic of a Christian, I participate in. And I think the distinguishing factor that differentiates me from someone who would willingly identify as Christian is I truly believe that we are the embodiment of Christ's energy once we align to the frequency of unconditional love. And that is our mission here on earth. I don't think a man is going to crack the sky and come down and save us all. I think our mission rather is to align with the frequency of unconditional love and allow that to be the catalyst through which we save ourselves and those around us. I believe that Christ is within. I believe that each of us has access to the energy of Christ. I believe that Christ, now that he is no longer limited to a physical body, is a frequency, a vibration, something that we can tap into, a consciousness that we can now channel now that he is a part of the collective consciousness and not limited to one physical vessel in one region in one time and space on earth. He is now accessible to us through this frequency that we can tap into. In order to reach that frequency, we must become one with love. Ourselves, those around us, recognizing the oneness of the consciousness that we are all a part of, recognizing the interconnectedness of nature that we are all a part of, and recognizing where we fit into this, a singular expression of that larger body, the body of Christ, the body of God. All of these principles and philosophies align. I don't think they are in contradiction. I don't think that because I also incorporate Buddhist philosophies that I am not serving God the way I should be, or Hindu philosophies that I'm not serving God the way that I should be. I think certain religions point more to the philosophical, while certain other religions point more to the metaphysical, to physics, right? Chanting, for example, altering the waves of sound around us, bringing wave into material, turning wave into particle, which is matter, which creates the world that we experience, the tangible world that we experience. When I chant Om, I'm sending out a frequency that is altering the waves around me and shifting the way that I then experience matter around me. When I am tuning my chakras and understanding where different energy points lead to different outcomes, I'm adjusting my body so that I can have a certain experience, so that I can be a vibrational match to a certain experience. I'm removing trauma and blockages from certain parts of my body so that I can call in certain experiences, because those experiences would otherwise not be a match to me, because I'm a match to the experiences of trauma that are still living in my body and playing out in present day. And until I do the work to remove them from my body on a cellular level, then those are the experiences that I will continue to attract. But it is through my awareness of these experiences, my integration of them, my transmutation of them, that I can overcome and begin to have new experiences, because I can release my attachment to the frequency and to the energetic imprint that that experience left in my body. Before I get too far into it, I want to read a little bit from my book, Daughter: The Soul Journey of a Black Woman in America Having a Human Experience by Ebonee Davis, because I feel that it perfectly summarizes my philosophy on this topic. Real change occurs at the fundamental level when our psyche becomes aligned with a particular energy pattern or waveform, which then informs our master value system or belief system. We go forward making choices that support this belief system, and those choices become the fabric of our reality. These psychological changes, if made on a large scale, have the power to completely reshape society. However, we only have a finite amount of space within our psyche, so we must rid ourselves of previously held values so that they can be replaced or updated by new ones. If your body is the hardware, then your value system is the software. You have to delete old apps so you can download new ones. Once our value system is in alignment with the values of a particular archetype, we are able to integrate it and embody it. Essentially, we have the power to rewrite our personal DNA, which itself is a sequence of patterns, through the embodiment of pre-existing energy patterns. This newly embodied energy pattern gives your DNA instructions on how to write and replicate itself according to who you wish to become rather than who you have been. It is an opportunity for the ultimate identity switch, or quantum leap. What would Jesus do? Asking oneself this question is an example of how those who wish to integrate and embody the energy of Jesus Christ might go about rearranging their value system. When we read the Bible, the words carry a vibration that penetrates our psyche and rearranges our value system to be in alignment with that of God and Christ. I believe that Jesus Christ was the physical incarnation of spiritual perfection, vibrating on the frequency of love, which is the highest in our universe. His existence set the precedent and created a blueprint for all those coming after to strive for. Furthermore, I believe the mass achievement of this frequency of love will be the spur that propels humanity and Earth into the next iteration of our evolution. That is from Daughter. And I think that speaks perfectly to this and perfectly to where I stand in terms of belief in religion. I believe that Christ is resurrecting through all of us. And I believe that we all have an opportunity to come into alignment with that energy, to pull it through, to be the physical embodiments of unconditional love. And I truly believe that this is what the scriptures were speaking to when they said that Christ would return to the earth. And we truly see the evidence of it all around us, right? Whether you believe that God is God or Jesus Christ is cracking the sky, or you are like me and believe that God and Jesus is resurrecting through us, we can see that change is happening. War is happening, fires are happening, earthquakes are happening, floods are happening, changes are happening. We've mistreated the earth for a very long time, and it's time for us to return to love. It's time for us to shift the trajectory of humanity. I believe that there are forces. Actually, I won't even say I believe, because that's me trying to water it down. I know that there are opposing forces that oppose this frequency of love that are currently running the planet right now, running our entertainment industry, running politics, all of those things. And they're siphoning our energy, and they're keeping us trapped in lower frequencies of reality through the vibrations that we embody. And that's why it's essential to purge those frequencies out of our bodies so we can come into alignment with new realities, so we can truly use our imagination. Such a powerful tool. such a powerful, powerful tool, our imagination, to harness and to manifest new realities. Because we continue to see the same stories perpetuated in the news and in the media and in the music, it's very hard for us to look into the abstract, to look into the unknown, and to imagine something new for ourselves. But that is essential to the process of stepping into the reality, the kingdom that God has waiting for us, that is a reflection of the unconditional love that we embody for ourselves and others. I think it's also important to recognize that authenticity plays a big part in religion. Lineage plays a big part in religion. Who we are ethnically, who we are in our DNA, who we've been historically, ancestry, all of those things. For me, I was given Christianity and I was given Buddhism, actually, because both of my grandmothers were Buddhist at the time that I was born. And so I would go with them to the Buddhist temple and chant Nam-myoho Renge-kyo, and those were part of the philosophies that I was raised with, as well as being raised with Christianity, which I was introduced to through my father and mother. And so I have found the commonality between both of these things, and I recognize that love is at the center of them. And I love to approach God through the philosophy of Christianity, but I also love to approach God through the philosophy of Buddhism: presence, stillness, coming into union with myself, recognizing my thoughts, recognizing what thoughts are plaguing me, being able to grab a hold of my consciousness and recognizing what is keeping me on a loop, what is keeping me stuck in certain expressions of reality that no longer align to me. Meditation, that's why meditation is so valuable and so important. Yoga, I don't understand how doing yoga is demonic. I don't understand how doing yoga, stretching your body, taking care of your vessel is considered something that is not in alignment with God's will for your life. I truly can't wrap my head around it. And I actually had a conversation with a Christian friend of mine, and they explained that in their church, they believe that doing yoga releases demons. And I will agree that yoga is a very powerful practice to release stagnant energy. But it's because those things exist inside of you already, and isn't the point to eradicate them and not allow them to continue to exist within your body? The whole point is to bring them to the surface so that they can be transmuted. Personally, I know a lot of people get into spirituality and get into spiritual practices and then turn around at the first sign of any darkness. They start doing the shadow work, and then the demons come out, right? Which are really just manifestations of your own consciousness. Entities that have attached themselves to your bloodline or to your energy start to arise, and then they want to run away. And it's back to religion, which is totally fine. I totally get it. But my belief is that we are sovereign and we have the ability to heal ourselves. I don't understand why holistic medicine is looked down upon. Things that come from the earth, you're willing to take a pill that these doctors have given you that are derivatives of the actual plants that we would consume as holistic wellness practitioners or doctors or facilitators, and yet, dealing with herbs is witchcraft. I'm just not sure that I quite understand it or align to the philosophy of it. And I'm just not at a point where I'm willing to completely surrender what I know God has created for us because of a philosophy that has been altered and changed over time. And I don't think it truly reflects the pure nature of the intention with which it was written. I think interpretations of it have changed it over time to suit whatever the dominant cultural needs are. And I think at this point, it's going to be essential that we return to the earth, return to our love for nature and the things that God has given us. And as the earth continues to change more and more, we are going to need access to the natural things that come from earth that have the ability to heal us. And so I think it would be foolish to turn our nose up at those things for the sake of aligning to one particular doctrine that says that those things are evil. I don't believe that religion and science are mutually exclusive. I believe that they are one and the same and that they can coexist. When we are praying, we are moving waves. We are using our tongues and our vibration to shift the waves of reality so that whatever we say, whatever we speak, then becomes manifest. In the beginning, there was the Word. In the beginning, there was a vibe. God used vibrations. God used words to create the world. That's physics. That's science. That's math. So I don't understand why we've created this polarity when there truly is no polarity. There truly is no separation. I have felt closer to Jesus Christ than ever after experiencing plant medicine, after sitting with plant medicine. It truly brought me into a holistic understanding of what it means to align to love, to align to unconditional embodied love, and to align to the frequency of Christ, and to allow that to be my baseline frequency through which I perceive and live my reality, through which I show up for others and show up for my community and show up for myself. I have so much love for Jesus, and I always will, because like I said in my book, he was the physical embodiment of perfection, spiritual perfection, what we strive for, what we aim to achieve. He's a role model, a brother, a friend. He is truly who I wish to be like, but I don't believe that Christ is only meant to be worshiped and revered. I believe that Christ is meant to be achieved. It's meant to be lived. It's meant to be embodied. It's meant to be a part of us. It's meant to be a philosophy upon which we build our belief systems and build our lives. Like I was saying before, I believe that religion is ancestral, and Christianity is the religion that my enslaved ancestors were practicing. So for me, there's a level of authenticity in that. Buddhism is the religion that my grandmothers were practicing. So there's a level of authenticity in that. Some of my ancestors may have revered the Orisha. So there would be a level of authenticity in that. Some of my ancestors may have revered the Kemetic gods. So there's a level of authenticity in that. There's a resonance with those things, but I think it's okay to eat the fish and spit out the bones. I think it's okay to not fully subscribe to one religion just because there is some resonance with it. I think it's important to understand that we've lived many lives with many incarnations. And so it's likely that there's going to be resonance with many religions because your body has been located across the world in many locations and had attachments to many cultures and experienced many different gods. And all of those things are happening at once. It's only in this physical 3D dimension that we are experiencing time in a linear fashion. But truly, all things are unfolding at once. In higher dimensions of consciousness, everything is happening at the same time. So there's a version of you right now, hundreds of years ago or thousands of years ago, who has an entirely different religion that they're practicing, an entirely different set of beliefs that they're practicing. And also, there's a future version of you that has an entirely different set of beliefs that they're practicing, or a different religion that they're practicing. And you are able to attune your consciousness to all of those things because you are truly the culmination in this present moment of all of those versions of yourself. And so I think it's okay. I really believe that it is okay to incorporate the knowledge of all of the things that resonate with you. What I think is important, though, and what I think religion does is it gives you a sense of structure. And I think that's why people really gravitate toward one religion, because I think it becomes very clear how to take action, when to take action, and why to take action. And if you are not able to implement structure in your own life and put those things in place for yourself, it can be very confusing. A lot of people have a hard time implementing those structures, which I totally understand. It takes work to build a relationship with God, just like it takes work to build a relationship with anybody in your life. It takes work to build a relationship with your parents, a healthy relationship with your children, a healthy relationship with your spouse, with your friends. It takes effort. It takes real effort. And if you don't have something that is explicitly giving you guidelines on how to take action and implement that effort, prayer 5 times a day or whatever the case may be, then sometimes it's hard and you can fall short and you can feel very disconnected from God. So I understand why religion feels like a solid choice. Me personally, I like to wake up every single morning. I meditate for an hour. I go into prayer. I'm talking to God. And then I journal, and that's how I call in the Holy Spirit every single morning. That's how I begin every single day. I do not miss a day. There's no day that goes by that I'm not in conversation with God. There's no day that goes by where I'm not saying, God, please be in every decision that I make. Please be on the forefront of my mind in every thought that I have. Please be present with me as I'm in my car. Please be present with me at work. Please be present with me in my home. Be present in my relationship, all my relationships, my friendship, my family. Use me, God. Use me. Allow me to be of service to you. I open up my vessel to you. I surrender my vessel to you before I came and sat down to do this podcast. Use me, God. Move Ebonee out of the way. She's small. She has doubts. She has insecurities. Move her out of the way. You get in the way, God. Use my tongue, use my mind, use my body and my spirit to be of service to you in this hour. Use my words and the wisdom and the experiences that you've given me to be of service to you in this hour. Please, God, I want nothing more for my life than to serve you. This is a relationship. And I think religion does a beautiful job of showing you how to be in relationship, not even just with God, but in relationship with your family, in relationship with money, in relationship with your job, in relationship with friends, in relationship with your children. I think there is so much value, and I don't reject the philosophy of it. I just think there is more. Personally, I feel, I believe, I think, and I've been witness to the fact that there is more. I don't feel complete in my expression and in my love for God through the lens of one singular religion. It does not feel complete to me. It does not feel like I'm living up to the totality of my lived experience and the encounters that I've had with God and the possibility for connection that I know is available to me through other religions as well. I also don't believe that my ancestors are demons, and that realization was really affirmed to me when I lost my baby brother to gun violence. And I just refuse to believe that I no longer have a relationship with him. I know I have a relationship with him in spirit. I know I'm able to communicate with him. I know he shows up to me in nature. I know he's in the ways he communicates to me. And so I would be living in delusion to ignore the lived experience that I'm having that indicates to me that there is a limitation to subscribing to a singular way of connecting with God. Again, I love Jesus. I love Christianity. This podcast and this episode, one might interpret it as, I don't know how anybody's going to interpret it. That's not really up to me to determine or try to wrap my head around. But what I do know is that if I were listening, what I know is my intention. What I know is my intention. And it's certainly not to berate, degrade, talk down on, but simply to share my lived experience and hopefully impart some wisdom on anybody who's listening, and to just shed perspective. Because again, I have received questions. How do you pray to Jesus, but you don't call yourself a Christian? Because I believe in Jesus. I understand that the frequency of Jesus is powerful, and not just the frequency. I believe that Jesus was a powerful person. Jesus was a powerful being. Jesus is a powerful being. But now, again, that he's transcended the limitation of his physical vessel, we have access through his consciousness to the frequency that he is now, and we can download it into our consciousness, and we can embody what it is like to be Christ walking this planet. And I'm not just talking about, trying to be this powerful person and claiming that, whatever claims people try to make when they take on false senses of power. That's not what I'm saying. I'm talking about complete humility. To be Christ, to embody Christ's energy, is the ultimate form of humility, because it's the ultimate submission to God. Like I said, when I came and sat down for this podcast, I said, God, use me. I want to be like Christ. I want to open myself up to God, which is really just opening up myself to the frequency of unconditional love. How much love can I embody and impart on the world today through these words that I share? How many lives can I touch? How many lives can I shift? How many eyes can I open? How many hearts can I mend? That is truly the goal. Not to talk down on anybody or make anybody feel ostracized, make anybody feel bad, inadequate. Never the goal. Never the goal. Truly to share my experience, what I've been through, and how I've found relationship with God. So, that's why I pray to Jesus, and I don't consider myself a Christian. I guess, yeah, the part of the religion that would qualify me as a Christian is the part that I don't necessarily fully subscribe to, because I don't believe that the sky is going to be cracked open. I believe that the world will continue to shift and change, and that is because we are coming into alignment with a new frequency and a new way of being, but it's happening through us. It's happening through us. It's not happening outside of us. We are the ones anchoring in this new frequency. And there's a level of accountability and responsibility that comes with that, and humility, as I mentioned, to be completely humble and open and available for God to work through you. There's nothing really glamorous about it. Any accolades that I receive, I give back to God. It's truly not about me. It's truly not about the vessel that you see before you. When I imagine myself, when I see myself, I see this like hollow being, and I just see this stream of light pouring through that I know is God. That's how empty I've made myself. That's how clear and pure I've made myself. And it's something I have to strive for every single day, because the world attempts every single day to pull you out of that level of purity. And I don't want to be pulled out of my purity. I don't want social media to influence me out of my purity. I don't want the music to influence me out of my purity. That's taking me away from God. That's taking me away from unconditional love. I don't want the toxic food to take me out of alignment with my purity. That brings me back to the holistic health thing. I mean, it's really all about cleansing, purifying, purging your vessel, whether that's tuning your chakras, doing yoga, doing herbal cleanses. All of these things are to bring you into alignment with God. Truly not a contradiction, truly an opportunity to remove what has attached itself to you, what is holding on to you, what is plaguing you, and to come into alignment with the love that you are. The love, the pure unconditional love that you are, that you were born as, that you were removed from when the umbilical cord got severed due to the trauma that you experienced. It's an opportunity to come back into alignment with that. This is truly such an exciting time to be on the planet. This is the time so many of us have been waiting for, whether you are Christian, spiritual, of any other background. It doesn't matter. We all feel it. We all feel the changes. We all see Sodom and Gomorrah. We all see the prophecies being fulfilled. We all see the war. We all see the weather. We all see the climate change. We all see it. There is no denying it. There is no running from it. There is no hiding. But I believe that true safety is in alignment with the divine will of God and with unconditional love. The pure and true embodiment of unconditional love, because when you are tapped into the frequency of unconditional love, you will receive the downloads and instructions necessary to ensure your well-being, your safety, and your smooth transition into the next dimension that Earth is shifting into. This is truly a time of all hands on deck. All light workers, anybody who's been called to this healing work, it's time to step into it. No more hiding in the shadows. No more fear of being misunderstood, which is why I'm glad I did this episode, because I think this is a topic that I've been hesitant to speak on. I don't want to be attacked. I don't want to be attacked for my beliefs. Who does, I have been for hundreds of years. Past lives, I've been murdered for my beliefs. I don't want to be crucified in this life, but I also recognize the importance of humility, which is willingness to show up for God, even when it's uncomfortable for Ebonee. And that's what I'm going to do. And I hope you're willing to do that too, because it's truly needed right now on planet Earth. And I'm excited and encouraged and ready for the kingdom to be birthed here, now, and it's happening here and now. Peace.